Alright, let's start with a question that might sound simple but cuts to the core of racing. How does someone come back from a season where they've lost their edge? That's the exact pressure Dallas Daniels faced heading into Sturgis. The reigning champ with the #1 plate, but only 2 wins all year. Meanwhile, the Harleys were stacking victories like a Black Friday sale. But then, boom, Daniels dominates this Super TT race. And honestly, that's what makes this result so fascinating. It's not just about speed, it's about psychology, strategy, and those tiny decisions that rewrite entire seasons. Let's unpack the obvious first, Daniels' raw talent. The guy grew up on tracks that mirror this TT layout. Central Illinois dirt? That's his playground. But here's the twist, even if you're built for a track, you still have to conquer the mental game. And Daniels admitted it himself. He hadn't even qualified fastest all season. So when he gambles on starting from the outside, knowing it's riskier but gives him cleaner air, that's not just racing IQ. It's desperation turning into calculated bravery. And it worked. But wait, was it just his skill, or did the Yamaha MT-07 play a role? Because let's not ignore the elephant in the room. This bike's undefeated in Super TTs. Coincidence? Or is there something about its setup that turns these multi-surface monsters into a weapon only Daniels can wield? Now, let's talk about the competition. Briar, Bauman, and Kody Kopp? They weren't just riding, they were hunting. Bauman smoked Daniels' heat race lap time, and Kopp dropped the fastest qualifying lap on a Harley in its debut. But here's where the narrative gets spicy. Bauman crashes trying to keep up with Daniels in the dash, and Kopp isn't even in the dash after botching his heat start. So were they victims of their own aggression? Or is this the mental versus physical battle in real time? Daniels' crash mid-race, where he gets tossed out of the seat, feels like a moment where the whole race could have flipped. But instead of crumbling, he rides through it. Why? Because he'd already built a gap. That gap wasn't just time, it was psychological armor. He knew he weathered the storm, and the others didn't. And then, there's Dalton Gauthier's podium. Royal Enfield's second Premier Class podium ever? That's a brand story years in the making. But let's dissect this. Gauthier isn't just celebrating a third-place finish. He's thanking his crew chief Johnny Lewis for the mid-season opportunity. That tells me this isn't just a rider's skill, it's a team culture revival. Royal Enfield's been the underdog for decades, and now they're crashing the podium party. What does this mean long-term? Could this be the spark that turns them into consistent contenders? Or is this a one-off moment in a season full of surprises? Switching gears to the AFT Singles race, Evan Kelleher's first win feels like the sports movie trope we love. But the real drama was Drane and Chase Saathoff's collision. Their rivalry's been brewing all year, but this crash? It wasn't just a race moment, it was a statement. Saathoff tried to force a pass where there was none, and they both paid the price. Meanwhile, Kelleher seizes the chance. But here's the irony. Kelleher had to fight off Taryn Santero after that, who admitted he almost caused another crash trying to catch him. It's like the entire class is a pressure cooker of ambition and recklessness. And Fanders, the LCQ winner, clawing back to third? That's the beauty of flat track. Anyone can rise if they've got the grit. So, stepping back, what's the bigger story here? Daniels' win isn't just a trophy. It's a reset button for his championship hopes. He's flipped from a 3-point deficit to 6 ahead, with 4 rounds left. But here's the question I can't shake. Can he keep this momentum against the Harley's dominance? And what about the tech side? Does Yamaha's TT-specific bike give them an unfair edge, or is it just smarter engineering? Meanwhile, in AFT Singles, we're watching the next generation of rivalries ignite. This wasn't just a race, it was a chessboard of risk, redemption, and legacy. So what do you think? Is Daniels' mental game now unshakable, Or is this just the calm before the next Harley storm? Let's talk in the comments.